The body lies face down in the Arizona desert, blood pooling in the sand. 3 men stand over it, leather vests, Hell's Angels patches gleaming under the moonlight. One of them is me. Is he dead? I look down at the corpse, a Mongol's motorcycle gang member, our enemy. Yeah, he's dead. Except he's not. This is a staged murder. The body is a prospect from our own club, playing dead. The blood came from a slaughterhouse, and the whole thing is being photographed to prove our loyalty to the most dangerous motorcycle gang in America. Bird, you did good. Real good. The man speaking is Bob Reinstra, president of the Hell's Angels Mesa chapter. What he doesn't know is that my name isn't Bird. It's Jay Dobyns, federal agent, Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. And this staged murder, it's evidence that will eventually put Bob and 54 others behind bars. But right now, in this moment, I'm not thinking about evidence. I'm thinking, how the hell did I get here? My name is Jay Dobyns. Before I became Bird, before I wore the death head patch, before I rode with America's most notorious motorcycle gang, I was just another federal agent trying to make a difference. 1991, Tucson, Arizona. I joined the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the ATF. We're not the FBI. We're smaller, more aggressive. We target gun traffickers, bomb makers, violent criminal organizations that other agencies won't touch. By 2001, I've spent 10 years working undercover. Mexican drug cartels, arms dealers, outlaw biker gangs. I've been shot at 6 times, stabbed twice, nearly killed more times than I care to remember. But I keep going back, because undercover work is an addiction. When you're deep cover, you don't just pretend to be someone else. You become them. You adopt their voice, their mannerisms, their worldview, their morality. And somewhere in that transformation, the line between you and your cover identity starts to disappear. That's what makes great undercover agents. And that's what destroys them. The ATF has a target. The Hell's Angels Motorcycle Club, founded 1948 in California, now spanning 80 countries, thousands of members, hundreds of chapters. They're not just a motorcycle club, they're a criminal empire worth over $1 billion annually. Methamphetamine trafficking, weapon smuggling, contract killings, extortion. But here's what makes them different from every other gang. Their loyalty structure. The Hell's Angels don't recruit random members. They select carefully, methodically. You can't join by asking. You have to be invited. And then you have to prove yourself worthy for months, sometimes years. If you survive the testing, you receive the patch, the death head, a winged skull that represents absolute commitment. For decades, law enforcement tried to penetrate them. Informants disappeared. Undercover operations failed. Wiretaps produced nothing useful. Because the Hell's Angels have one sacred rule: all in or all out. You're either 100% committed to the Brotherhood or you're dead. That's where I come in. July 2001. ATF Phoenix Field Division. My supervisor slides a classified file across the conference table. The tab reads Operation Black Biscuit. Inside is a plan that sounds insane. Infiltrate the Hell's Angels, not as an informant, not through a cooperating witness, as a full patch member. Build a federal racketeering case from the inside. Document their criminal enterprise. Identify leadership. Dismantle entire chapters. Timeline? However long it takes. Most undercover operations last weeks, maybe a couple months. This one could take years. My supervisor looks at me. You understand what this means? I understand. Most undercover agents maintain some connection to normal life. Sunday dinners, kids' sports, regular check-ins. This operation requires total immersion. I'll be jaybird 24 hours a day. No breaks, no safety net. And if I make one mistake, I don't get arrested. I disappear. I'm in. Step 1. Build the legend. Jay Dobyns, former special operations soldier, explosives expert, enforcer for hire. We create a complete backstory, military service records, criminal history, associates who can vouch for me. We even stage fake arrests so my name appears in law enforcement databases. But there's a problem. I'm 40 years old, clean cut, married with 3 kids. I look like a suburban dad, not an outlaw biker. So I transform. I grow my hair long, stop shaving, get extensive tattoos, arms, chest, back. I start lifting weights obsessively, 4 hours daily, building intimidation into my frame. I buy a Harley-Davidson Softail. The Hells Angels only ride Harleys. Anything else raises immediate suspicion. I study the culture, the language, the hierarchy. Hang around, not a member. Being evaluated. Could last months. Prospect, probationary member. Wears a prospect patch. Serves full members. Could last years. Full patch member, true brother. Wears the death head. Loyalty for life. My goal, become a full patch member of the Hells Angels Mesa, Arizona chapter. Nobody in federal law enforcement history has ever accomplished this. September 2001, time to make first contact. The Rusty Spoke, a dive bar on the outskirts of Phoenix. Pure Hells Angels territory. I park my Harley next to a row of choppers. All of them have Hells Angels seat covers. I'm wearing leather, boots, my fresh tattoos visible on both arms. Under my jacket, I'm carrying a .45, not my service weapon, a throwaway piece that can't be traced to ATF. Because if this goes wrong, the agency can't help me. I'm completely on my own. I push through the door. The bar goes silent. 15 Hells Angels, all of them turning to look at the stranger who just walked into their territory. This is the moment every undercover agent fears and craves simultaneously. Walk in too confident, they think you're law enforcement. Walk in too nervous, they smell weakness. I walk to the bar, order a Jack Daniels neat, and wait. 5 minutes pass, nobody approaches. Then I hear boots behind me. You lost, brother? I turn. The man is 6'2", 240 pounds, bald head, prison tattoos covering both arms. A thick scar runs from his left eye to his jawline. His vest says Sergeant at Arms, Hells Angels Mesa. This is Richard Smiling Rick Peterson, the club's enforcer. His job is identifying and eliminating threats to the organization. Right now, I'm a threat. Not lost, just thirsty. This ain't a tourist bar. I'm not a tourist. He stares at me, looking for tells, micro-expressions, signs I'm law enforcement or a rival gang. I stare back, not aggressive, not submissive, just present. After 15 seconds that feel like an hour, Rick speaks. You ride? Every day. What do you ride? Softail, parked outside. He nods slowly. Stick around. Let's see what you're about. Those 7 words, stick around, let's see what you're about, are my entry point. Not an invocation, not acceptance, just permission to exist in their space. For the next month, I become a fixture at the Rusty Spoke. I don't push, don't ask about the club, don't try to impress. I just exist. I drink when they drink, ride when they ride, help when they need extra muscle. Slowly, carefully, I fade into the background. October 2001, the invitation comes. Rick approaches me after a long night. You ever think about hanging around with us? Hanging around, the first official step toward membership. I've thought about it. Then ride with us tomorrow. We'll see if you fit. November 2001, Mesa Hells Angels Clubhouse. First time inside. It's an unmarked warehouse. No signs, no indicators, just motorcycles parked in formation outside. Inside, pool table, full bar, leather furniture, Hells Angels memorabilia covering every wall. 20 members present, all eyes on me. Rick introduces me. This is Bird. He's been hanging around. Seems solid. Bob Reinstra, the chapter president, walks over. He's different from the others. Quieter, more calculated, more dangerous. Bird, welcome. You follow the rules here, we'll get along fine. You break them, you're out. Permanently. Understood. Rule 1. What happens in this clubhouse stays in this clubhouse. Forever. Rule 2. You respect the patch. Always. Rule 3. When we call, you come. No excuses, no delays. I nod. Later that night, Rick pulls me aside. We need you to handle something. What kind of something? Collection. Guy owes us $5,000, hasn't paid. Needs motivation. This is the test every undercover agent dreads. Refuse and my cover dies. Months of work wasted. Agree and I'm crossing a moral line I can never uncross. Where is he? We drive to Scottsdale. 4 of us. Rick, 2 other members, me. There's a baseball bat in the trunk. The target is Tommy, small-time meth dealer who borrowed money from the club to buy product, didn't pay back. We knock, he opens a door, sees us, his face drains of color. He tries to close the door, Rick kicks it open. What happens next will haunt me for years. They don't just beat him, they educate him. Broken ribs, fractured jaw, blood everywhere. I stand there, watching, not participating, but not stopping it. Because stopping it means dying. This is the reality of deep undercover work that nobody discusses. The moral compromises, the crimes you witness and can't prevent. The weight of standing by while violence happens. Later, ATF will ask, why didn't you intervene? My answer, because I would have died. The operation would have failed and nobody would have gone to prison. December 2001, Rick approaches me again. The guys like you. You handled yourself. We want you to prospect. Prospect, the next level. From hang around to prospect means I'm officially on the path to full membership. But it also means I'm in deeper, much deeper. Because once you're a prospect, your life belongs to the club. April 27, 2002, Laughlin, Nevada. Every spring, thousands of bikers from across the western United States converge here for the Laughlin River Run, a massive rally, a celebration of motorcycle culture. I'm at Harris Casino with 20 Mesa chapter members. We're drinking, gambling, riding high on brotherhood. Then I see them across the casino floor. Mongols. The Mongols Motorcycle Club, the Hells Angels' mortal enemies. Decades of bad blood, territory wars, killings. Bob sees them too. Everyone stay tight. The atmosphere shifts instantly. Every Hells Angel in the building goes on alert. I can feel violence coming like a thunderstorm rolling across the desert. The Mongols start moving towards us. Someone throws the first punch. Within seconds, the entire casino erupts into chaos. Chairs fly. Bottles smashing, tourists screaming and diving under slot machines. Then the gunshots start. Boom, boom, boom. I hit the floor. Around me, absolute pandemonium. I see a Hells Angel from San Jose chapter, a guy I'd met the night before, take 2 rounds to the chest. He drops. I see a Mongol get stabbed, blood spraying across a poker table. Security guards are shouting, pulling weapons, but they're overwhelmed. And I'm lying on the ground, trying to decide, do I blow my cover to stop this, or do I let it play out? If I identify myself as ATF, I could potentially de-escalate. But my cover dies. 2 years of work, gone. If I stay down, people might die. I make the choice. I stay in character. I stay with my brothers. The riot lasts 4 minutes. When it's over, 3 people are dead. 2 Hell's Angels, 1 Mongol, dozens wounded. Police flood the casino. I slip out a side exit with the Mesa chapter. We ride back to Arizona in silence. That night at the Clubhouse, Bob finds me. You didn't panic, stayed with your brothers. That's what this patch means. I nod, but inside, I'm fracturing. I just watched people die and did nothing. The next morning, I call my ATF supervisor from a payphone. I need extraction. I need a break. Can't do it. You're too deep. If you pull out now, everything collapses. 3 people died yesterday. I know, and I'm sorry, but we're building the biggest RICO case against the Angels in history. You can't stop now. He's right. Legally, operationally, he's right. But that doesn't make it hurt less. I go back to the Clubhouse, back to being Bird, and I bury Jay Dobyns a little deeper. January 2003, Prospect Patch Ceremony. All the Mesa Chapter Full Patch members gather. Music, beer, ritual. Bob hands me the vest. On the back, Prospect, Hell's Angels, Mesa. You wear this with pride. You do what you're told. You prove you deserve the death head. You fuck up, you're gone. And gone might mean dead. Understood. I pull on the vest. The members surround me. Hugs, handshakes. Welcome to the family, Prospect. Being a Prospect means being the club's servant. You're on call 24/7. Full members need something, you drop everything. Ride needed at 3 a.m., you're driving. Clubhouse needs security, you're posted up. Muscle needed for a job, you're there. For 18 months, this becomes my existence. But I'm also gathering evidence. Every conversation is being recorded on the wire I wear under my clothes. Every transaction is documented. Every crime is building the case. By mid-2003, ATF has hundreds of hours of recordings, drug deals, weapons trafficking, assaults, extortion. But we need more. We need to prove the Hell's Angels operate as a criminal enterprise under RICO statutes. And for that, I need direct involvement in major operations. March 2003, Bob approaches me. We need weapons, heavy stuff. Can you source them? This is my opening. I know a guy who specializes in that. That guy is an ATF undercover warehouse, seized weapons we can now sell to criminals under controlled conditions. 2 weeks later, the deal happens. Location, abandoned warehouse outside Phoenix. Product, 15 rifles, 4 handguns. All stolen, all untraceable. Payment, $15,000 cash. The entire transaction is filmed on hidden cameras. Bob shakes my hand afterward. You're solid, Bird, real solid. What he doesn't realize, he just committed multiple federal felonies on camera. But I realize something too. I'm not just witnessing crimes anymore, I'm committing them. And even with authorization, even with oversight, there's a part of me that knows I've crossed a line I can never uncross. June 2003. I've been undercover for 22 months. To the Hell's Angels, I am Bird, loyal, dangerous, one of them. But I'm also Jay Dobyns, federal agent, husband, father. And those two identities are destroying each other. I go home once a week, sometimes less. When I walk through the door, I'm still Bird. Long hair, full beard, tattoos covering my arms, leather vest. My youngest daughter sees me and cries. She doesn't recognize me. To her, I'm a stranger. My wife barely speaks to me anymore. She's terrified of what I've become. Because I have changed. I'm quicker to anger, more violent in my reactions. I see threats everywhere. At dinner one night, my son asks an innocent question about school. I snap at him. Stop asking so many questions. My wife stares at me. You're scaring the children. She's right. I'm scaring them. I'm scaring myself. Because Bird isn't just a character I play anymore. He's becoming who I am. ATF mandates monthly psychological evaluations. How are you managing the stress, Jay? I'm fine. It's a lie. I'm not fine. I wake up in the middle of the night not knowing which identity is real. I have violent dreams, panic attacks in the shower. The psychologist sees through it. Jay, you need to consider extraction. This is destroying your mental health. I can't quit. We're too close. The truth I don't say out loud, I don't want to quit. When I'm Bird, I have purpose. I have brothers who accept me unconditionally. I belong. When I'm Jay, I'm just a liar destroying his family. I'm starting to prefer being Bird, and that terrifies me more than anything the Hells Angels could do. July 2003, my wife gives me an ultimatum. You quit this operation or I'm leaving, taking the kids. I choose the operation. She files for divorce. My family is falling apart. My marriage is ending. My children don't know me, but I have my brothers, and my brothers are about to make me one of them. May 2003, Laughlin, Nevada, the same city where the riot happened. But this time, we're here for the annual West Coast Hells Angels officers meeting. It's also where prospects become full patch members. I'm standing before 300 Hells Angels from chapters across California, Arizona, Nevada, Oregon. This isn't just the Mesa chapter recognizing me. This is the organization accepting me. Bob Reinstraw holds the patch, the death head, the symbol I've been working toward for 2 years. Jaybird, you've proven yourself. You've bled for this club. You've sacrificed for this patch. You're worthy. He hands it to me. I sew it onto my vest. 300 Hells Angels erupt in cheers. Members I've never met come up to embrace me. Welcome home, brother. For a moment, I forget I'm undercover. For a moment, I'm not Jay Dobyns building a federal case. I'm Bird, and I've just achieved something no federal agent has ever accomplished. I'm a full patch Hells Angel. That night, I call my supervisor from a payphone outside the rally. I'm in, full patch. Silence on the other end. Then, Jesus Christ, you actually did it. Yeah. How do you feel? I should feel triumphant, successful. Instead, I feel something else entirely. Guilt. Because these men just accepted me as one of their own. They trust me. They call me brother. And I'm going to betray every single one of them. August 2003. We return to where the story began. The Arizona desert. The staged murder. The Mongol's body. This is my final loyalty test. The Hells Angels are at war with the Mongols. To prove ultimate commitment, you must show you're willing to kill for the patch. But we can't actually murder anyone, so we stage it. The victim is a Hells Angels prospect from Tucson chapter. The blood is pig's blood from a slaughterhouse. We take photographs, evidence of the murder, proof that Bird is a killer. Bob looks at the photos. Perfect. If anyone ever questions your loyalty, we have this. What he doesn't know, ATF has copies of these same photos as evidence of conspiracy to commit murder. September 2003. I've been a full patch member for 4 months. The evidence is overwhelming. Weapons trafficking, drug distribution, assault, extortion, conspiracy. We have everything needed for mass arrests. Then, something goes catastrophically wrong. A separate ATF operation in Oakland goes bad. Agents raid a Hells Angels clubhouse in California. During the raid, they find documents. Documents with my name. Not Jay Dobyns, Bird. Someone inside the Hells Angels has been investigating me. My supervisor calls. We're pulling you out immediately. Give me 2 more weeks, one final operation. Jay, if they discover who you are, you're dead. We're extracting you now. But it's already too late. Bob calls me. We need to talk. Alone. Desert. This is it. We ride to the desert, just Bob and me, middle of nowhere. We stop, get off our bikes. Bob stares at me for a long time. Some of the California guys think you're a cop. My heartbeat accelerates, but I keep my expression neutral. Bob, you know me. We've ridden together for 2 years. I know, but there's questions about your background, where you came from. He pulls out a pistol, points it at my head. So I'm going to ask you one time, and you better tell me the truth. Are you law enforcement? Time slows. Tell the truth, he shoots me. Lie unconvincingly, he shoots me. I have seconds to save my life. Bob, look at everything I've done. The beatings I witnessed, the deals I ran, the laws I broke. If I was a cop, would I have done any of that? He stares at me, gun still raised. Besides, if I was ATF, I'd have arrested you months ago, instead of standing here in the desert getting a gun pointed at my fucking head. Long silence. He lowers the weapon. Yeah, you're right, but I see it in his eyes. He's not completely convinced. My time is running out. September 15, 2003, 5 a.m. Federal agents execute coordinated raids across Arizona. Mesa, Tucson, Phoenix, Flagstaff. SWAT teams, armored vehicles, helicopters. 55 simultaneous arrests. Weapons seized, drugs confiscated, assets frozen. Bob Reinstra is arrested at his home. When agents tell him that Bird was a federal agent, he refuses to believe them. Even after seeing the evidence, the recordings, the photographs. Bird is my brother. Bird doesn't exist. His real name is Jay Dobyns, ATF Special Agent. The look on Bob's face haunts me still. Not rage, betrayal. Operation Black Biscuit results: 55 arrests, 30 firearms seized, multiple convictions. Bob Reinstra pleads guilty, 15 years federal prison. Rick Peterson gets 12 years. The Mesa chapter is dismantled. ATF calls it the most successful infiltration in history, but nobody asks about the cost. October 2003. I testify in federal court against the men I called brothers. Each time I take the stand, I see their faces. Not anger, disappointment. Because I broke the sacred code. All in or all out. I was never all in. I was always planning to get out. But here's what destroyed me more than anything the Hells Angels did. The ATF betrayed me too. November 2008. 5 years after the operation. The Hells Angels put a $100,000 bounty on my head. They firebombed my house while my family is inside. My ex-wife and children barely escaped. I call ATF. We need protection. Operation is over, Jay. You're not our responsibility. They tried to murder my family. That's a local police matter. I spent 2 years risking everything. Destroyed my marriage, lost my family. And when I needed them most, ATF walked away. I sued the federal government. The lawsuit drags for years. We eventually settle, but the damage is permanent. PTSD, nightmares, panic attacks. I can't trust anyone. Not law enforcement, not civilians, not family. because I learned the hardest lesson. Everyone betrays everyone. I betrayed the Hells Angels. ATF betrayed me. And I betrayed myself. I'm 61 years old now. I retired from ATF in 2009. I wrote a book about Operation Black Biscuit, No Angel, my harrowing undercover journey to the inner circle of the Hells Angels. In it, I tried to make sense of everything: the violence, the brotherhood, the betrayal. But some questions have no answers. Was it worth it? 55 criminals went to prison, but my marriage ended. My relationship with my kids is still damaged. I have PTSD that will never heal. The Hells Angels are still out there, still riding, still operating. We hurt them, but we didn't destroy them, because they're not built on crime. They're built on loyalty. And once you break that loyalty, you create something more dangerous than fear: revenge. 2015, 12 years after the operation. I'm at a gas station in Arizona. I see him across the lot, a Hells Angel, full patch, staring directly at me. Our eyes meet. He reaches into his jacket. I reach for my weapon. 10 seconds, both of us frozen. Then he gets on his motorcycle and rides away. They haven't forgotten, and neither have I. I still have the leather vest, hidden in my garage. The death head patch removed, confiscated as evidence. But sometimes, late at night, I take out that vest, and I remember what it felt like to be Bird, to have brothers who would die for you, to belong to something bigger than yourself. And I ask myself, which part was real? Was Bird the mask I wore to fool the Hells Angels? Or was Jay Dobyns the mask I wore to fool myself? Bob Rhymstra is scheduled for release in 2025. I wonder if he still thinks about the brother who betrayed him, or if he understands now that we were both just playing roles. Him, the outlaw, me, the agent. Neither of us understanding the costs until it was too late. The Hells Angels say, when we do right, nobody remembers. When we do wrong, nobody forgets. They're wrong. I remember. I remember everything, and I'll carry it until the day I die.